Now, the Alexandra Taxi Association and its affiliates suspended services after hundreds of taxis were impounded by the Johannesburg Metro Police for not being roadworthy at the weekend. Joining us now for CNBC Africa's correspondent of Viwe Mtila, a very well-versed expert on the subject. Viwe, what do we know?
They give me too much credit, but it's certainly been a chaotic day, especially for commuters using these taxis. I tell you, in the morning around 6 o'clock, people didn't know how they'd essentially get to work because there were no taxis in sight, none of the marshals or anyone to give direction as to what was happening. And as we found out in the course of the day, it was because of the over 500 taxis that were impounded by the JMPD, Johannesburg Metro Police Department, because those taxis, as they say, they are unlicensed. Some of them, they licensed this range back from 2012. You see, this industry is an industry essentially that is facing a lot of problems, and a strike was threatened even last year. People saying that, the taxi industry saying that government doesn't take care of them, while government takes care of new forms of transport like Uber or the buses, but they're not being taken care of. The taxis that were impounded, as we spoke earlier, Arnold, were old taxis essentially, and those are the taxis that pay for the new forms of taxis, like your Quantums. The Quantum ranges from around 15,000 per month. That's something that you pay for over 6 months. So the taxi drivers are saying that, over 6 years, beg your pardon, over 6 years. So the taxi drivers are saying we can't afford these new forms of transport, and that's why they went on the strike today, because of the cars that were impounded, and it's been a sad situation for the commuters. I spoke to some of them on the ground, and this is what they had to say.
Was there any sort of due process? Because I would imagine before my taxi or my property is impounded, maybe there is some kind of due process. Was there any kind of exchange here, per se?
Well, the conversation has been there. I remember I went into this very topic sometime last year. The conversation has been there. The threat of a national-wide strike has been there. It's been brewing. The taxi associations have been disgruntled with government. They've been disgruntled with SA Taxi, the people that sell them these Toyota Quantums from Japan. So they've been disgruntled. The conversation has been there. But over the weekend, the JMPD just decided to look into this issue of taxis, especially the old taxis that most people use to and from work. It's not the long distance taxis, because these taxis are the ones that are often used in the busy streets of Johannesburg. You can imagine 70,000 cars coming in every morning to Sandton, and a lot of them, those people come through with these taxis. So there wasn't conversation per se as to how the lead up to the strike was up, especially communication with the commuters to let them know in advance that today would be the official strike. So most of them didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to get to work. Those that had essentially left for work, they didn't know how they'd left children behind. They didn't know how they'd be going back to take care of their children, for example. So it's been a chaotic day. I can imagine even now going back home, they have got no clue. Those that managed to get to work don't know how they'll go back home even.
Fascinating indeed. Of course, it wouldn't be a story without going to the street and hearing from the horse's mouth. Is what we picked up.
I feel so bad because it affects our salary, because when we don't go to the work today, they're going to cut our salary.
It affects me a lot because now we are delaying to go home and everything. We have kids at home, and you see, so it's a little bit a challenge.
Today, we didn't go to work because taxis, they are not operating anymore. So we are not happy with what is happening. So the government must help us to fix the problem, because others, they lose jobs, whatever, because the bosses, they are not accepting what is happening.
Yeah, since we came here to find for a taxi, but there's no taxi. We don't know what is going on. They're waiting for us to work since morning. There's no taxi. We don't know how to go to work. We are staying far. We don't know how are we going back? It will be difficult for us.
If it continues, then there's no moving around, and we can't go anywhere without taxi. So I don't know what's going to happen now.